I came for you. Kevin Blanch. I haven't put up any video. I had a really crazy, horrible situation. I've had the worst few days of my life happen to me. Falls into the thesis of everything I've been talking about. I was down at the Occupy movement in Salt Lake a couple weeks ago, and I got some really serious abdominal cramping. And I thought, well, I got food poisoning. So, you know, I come home and I got really intense, so I drove up to the emergency room. Well, I go on there, and this doctor I've had a run-in with before, who me and him's going to have it out big time, I'll tell you this right now. I'm uninsured, and like so many millions of us, and the reason I'm uninsured is because I had a catastrophic accident in 2005. You know, I was plastering, this guy was exploiting labor, giving him a little bit of cash, supposed to spike the gutters, and they'd re-roofed this roof. I'm 3 stories up, repairing some bad moldy ethos, messed up, horrible, fake stucco. Well, he doesn't use the spikes, he just put nails. I don't know that. I got a Hawk trowel in my hand, I'm way up there. You know, my ladder moving a little bit. You know, I've been doing this my whole life. I'm extremely careful. I put my elbow in the gutter. Well, I fell 35 feet on concrete. Broke my back. Crushed my face. This huge scar in the back. Severed my tongue. Ruptured my tongue in my throat. I mean, came so close to death it was unbelievable. You know, couldn't walk. In the ICU for weeks. I maxed out my insurance. I had good insurance. I paid literally millions of dollars into the workman's comp and funds in my life. Seriously, millions. Well, I maxed it. They didn't give me any aftercare. It took me a year and a half to even learn how to walk again. I got no aftercare. You know, I'm single. It isn't like I have a spouse's income. You know, I have my stock portfolio that I've been living on trading. Thank God I had that. You know, to pay my bills just like everybody else. I paid so much in taxes through the 90s and whatever, my Wall Street career, you know. I had $1 million a year job. I paid my share to and gladly paid them. Gladly paid them. Never freaking hesitated. Probably paid more than I should have because I wasn't one of these guys that took every deduction. You know, I did my own taxes. You know, but as soon as you get down, they put their boot on your throat. Well, I go into this doctor. He sends me home. No, there's nothing wrong with you. Because he sees I don't have insurance, so he just assumes. Well, a couple days later, really intense again. He gives me a printout, says if he comes back, get right back here. I go back, same guy. Same guys, you know, blood tests, you know. I get a little bit better. I still, you know, I've had this stomach ache for about a month. Well, go home. I'm like, Jesus. Okay. Well, Friday night, it got so intense and I got so bad, just puking. You know, it wasn't nausea. I knew it was something besides, you know, just your normal being sick or a virus. I ended up in an ambulance. Ended up in the hospital. A woman doctor, thank God. I'm like, please run a CAT scan. Please. She's like, yeah. So, run a CAT scan. She comes back and says, Mr. Blanch, I'm so sorry. You got a whole bunch of tumors in there. You know, and she's, I'm going to admit you into the hospital right now. You know, I'm panicking. She hands me a printout. Here's the printout she hands me. I've got some carcinoid tumors in there. And I start reading through as I'm on my way up to the room, and, you know, they're wheelchairing me up there. And the doctor meets me in the elevator. The guy, he says, are you Kevin? Yeah, I just come to talk to you. I've been reviewing these x-rays, you know, and I'm reading right here, and it says carcinoid tumor, if it has metastasized in the liver, there's no cure. You know, the first thing I ask him, what about my liver? There's a spot on your liver. I panic. My blood pressure spikes. He panics. My whole family panics. My children panic. Everybody panics. Social workers in there. I'm devastated. You know, I'm devastated. I'm crushed. The worst few days I've had my whole life. Well, finally, Sunday, about 4 a.m., they take me in. This gastrologist scopes me. You know, both ends, whatever. And I have a talk with her. She says, look, Kevin, I've reviewed this. Yeah, there's a little spot on your liver, but that's a completely normal freaking liver. So there's nothing wrong with your liver. These tumors look like to me they're on the outside. We'll scope and find out, but, you know, they're treatable. Okay? I think they're treatable. I really do, you know. You know, granted, they're probably secreting poison into your body, and this is a serious, acute situation, but, you know, I don't think you're going to die, you know, and I'm like, God, thank God, you know, I felt hugging her. Well, so I go in yesterday, and I had a biopsy yesterday, going to radiology, and talking to this doctor, you know, and he got in there, I'll get the results tomorrow, but today I got a phone call from her office, and she's like, we found a bacteria in your stomach that is eating your stomach liner away. and it's been eating around for a month. And I'm like, what the hell? What kind? I says, foodborne? Yeah, we don't know, but more than likely. Well, I eat a lot of fresh fruit. You know, I'll go to this grocery store, buy them cups of fruit, you know, because I'm older, you know, I'm doing what I'm told to do to try to protect my heart, you know. Construction workers with heart are famous for having heart attacks, you know, and, you know, I'm not perfect. You know, I drink too much beer sometimes, but, you know, I don't smoke, you know, I'm fairly decent shape, you know, and so she says, this falls into the thesis, everything I've been ranting about and everything I've been taught. She says, I says, how common? She says, it used a couple years ago. She says, I never saw it. She says, it's 100 times over the last 2 years that I've ever seen it. You know, and I'm like, I'm in the radiology, and I couldn't believe, you know, getting the biopsy. It's just people lined up. I couldn't believe people lined up. There's 4 or 5 doctors in there. You know, boom, 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 boom. The little room I'm in there, you know, there's 4 people resting me, and I get talking to this brilliant radiologist, by the way. You know, he stabbed in there, got it just like that. Amazing. You know, these brilliant doctors are amazing. But we started talking, he says, I'm doing so many biopsies, it's unbelievable. This hospital's doing so many biopsies. He says, boom, boom, boom. You know, I says, how much more? He says, it's exponential the last couple of years. And then we started talking about Fukushima, you know, and even he didn't realize. You know, and I went on my rant about, you know, environmental poisoning. And, you know, I'll get my biopsy results tomorrow afternoon, you know, but, you know, and just play it out, however it plays out. But it just falls into the whole thesis of everything I've been talking about. You know, when it gets down to the budget, we have the budget debate. Last spring, we have the budget debate, and the trillions of what are we, 1.6 annualized budget. The CBO says the long-term effects of Iraq are going to be 30 trillion. You know, all this wasteful money, all the other thing we fuck around with, and these radical fucking neocon fucking nuts. What did they cut? What did they cut? The only thing they cut, the only thing they finally got done, they cut $10 million out of the food inspection. Well, I mean, the only thing we have left, is our environment. You know, we try to, we're fucked. We're fucked. You know, even you're trying to eat right, you're doing what, you know, grow your, I mean, you know, and then he gets talking about the farmer's market. We have huge farmer markets here, and he says, we're starting to see some serious poisoning. My neighbor over here is selling raw milk. He almost killed 30 people. You know, so our environment, Fukushima flowing over the top of us, and they confirmed to both these doctors, you know, been doctors for a long time, brilliant doctors, you know, fall right into the thesis. You know, my heart goes out to anybody who's ever been diagnosed with cancer, anybody that's had cancer, any family. It's so catastrophic. It is so devastating. You know, I was so overwhelmed. My children were so overwhelmed, you know. They're bringing in social workers, you know. And this asshole who I went to see just assumes, oh, I can't pass. You know, I can't wait. Me and him's going to have it fucking out. I made almost $1 million a year for a long time in the night. I paid so much in tax and gladly paid it. Like I said, gladly paid. Probably paid more than my share because I wouldn't take my... Gladly paid. You know, happy to freaking pay. You know, this fucking asshole, you know, wouldn't run tests, you know, and I had a run-in with him before. And it just shows you the healthcare. The Democrats, when they jumped into office, just attacked healthcare. They should attack the job market. Look, healthcare, as you guys know, I talk about the healthiest middle class in world history via the progressive policies of FDR and others. Because, look, workers had power. Workers had power. With power comes health care. Government didn't have to get in health care because the employees. But when you send our jobs abroad, when this exploitation, we lose power. Look, in the 1950s or the 60s or 70s, some employers saying, we're not going to give you full medical, full freaking dental, full everything. They're like, fuck you, I'll go down the street. You know, so instead of addressing the job market, closing the freaking, putting tariffs on goods, shutting the door and making us quit compete with 37. You know, immigration's always been part of this country, of course. But the part of immigration has been incorporated in. Immigration now is a wink and a nod, handsome cash to exploit people. Immigration's never been that. You know, backdooring laws that exist. We don't enforce the laws that exist. You know, and the labor goes down and down and down, and look where we're at. We're fucked. We're fucked. We have nowhere to turn. We don't have anything. Look, my cause going forward, you know, I'll keep you posted on what this is. You know, thank God this gastrologist had a talk with me at 4 in the morning, because I really for 2 days thought it's over. I honestly did. I was devastated, you know. And she says, look, Kevin, that liver looks fine. This is treatable, you know. This is very treatable, you know. These carcinoid tumors lay in a lot of people. Most people don't even know how unless it's other surgery, you know, but they panic because they see the spot's fine, I think. You know, we'll see tomorrow, but, you know, I feel so much better. And, you know, the virus in my stomach, bacteria, yeah, granted I have to go on super high antibiotics. I mean, I'll go pick up my drugs yesterday. 2 bottles, $500. I'm like, fuck, that's $8 a pill. You know, it's unbelievable what we've turned into this fucking country. And, you know, a lot of you people come to me and say it's too late, it's over. You're probably fucking right. It probably is too late. We're fucked. I agree with you. I do fucking agree. We're fucked. You know, just in 11 years, you know, you think back 99, yeah, the healthcare issue in the work class, but still the country was healthy. We still had a shot. We destroyed this country in every way. Like, these radical right-wing freaks want to stomp you down and kill you. I love these folks. Oh, you ain't got a shirt, just get the fuck out. You know, wait till I see this guy. Here's what I'm going to tell him right to his face. I'm going to say, listen, motherfucker. I'll guarantee I have donated more in charity in my life than you will fucking make in your fucking life. You know, you let a person down, you know, we don't go just like this, none of us. Life is a roller coaster, and we're all headed down the last decade, all of us. And you want to put your boot on our fucking neck and stomp us and treat us like that, you fucks. You just want to make judgment fucking calls on fucking human beings, on people. You don't know my economic status, you don't know my path, but you're going to take a fucking shot, and they do it over and over and over, because they're ideological fucking bullshit. I'll tell you what, I'll fight this cause to my fucking death. I guarantee it. And anybody who's been diagnosed with cancer or has died from cancer or had a loved one with cancer, you know, that's the cause that I'm all about. And look, so much of it comes from economic disparity. It really does. It is the philosophy. It does. It honestly does. As we destroy government, as we destroy workers' rights, as we destroy the labor force, economic poverty gets lower and lower, and stress, disease, lack of inspection because the monies are gone. You know, the whole system, the worker doesn't have any rights anymore to fight and make these people give what they are. Look, as far as the Occupy movement goes, I'll be right back down in it. And look, I'm telling you right now, this is going to have to get intense. It's going to have to be amped up, you know, and we can fight for our grandchildren. You know, we're fucked. We're done. You know, we don't have a fucking chance. They've environmental poisoned us. As I did my PhD study, I run regression, and I took big, huge subsets. I took 2,000 years, 1,000 years, 50 years, 10 years, and I ran multiple regressions on all kinds. I built a very great matrix, and I built it, and I proved that your chances of being killed by a terrorist are over 100 million to 1. Your chances of fucking being, you know, getting AIDS and you know, in the United States, they're there, but they're real. You know, all these wedge issues they scare us with. Your chance of being poisoned by anthrax, you know, I can't, you know, them are billions to 1. I ran all kinds of regressions. You know, I broke it down in my study. Your chance of being killed by environmental poisoning are 50-50, and they're going up every day. When I was in radiology, it was like cattle lined up. Boom, 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 boom. The star says it's exponential. I'm doing so many biopsies, it's unbelievable. You know, the gastrologist says this virus in your stomach, she says it used to be unheard of and it's so aggressive. She says, I see it all the time anymore. You know, via the food chain. This is a philosophical fucking battle. This is what my cause is going to be the rest of my life, I'll guarantee it. Well, it's been my cause as they marched my father into the desert and they nuked him to death, and I watched him die of freaking leukemia. And I watched him, and, you know, my little girls had to freaking, you know, my family has to revisit that with me. You know, thinking that, here we go again. You know, I think I'll be okay. I honestly do think I'll be okay. But how many aren't okay? You know, how many people these evil fucks kills, they poison the Gulf, they spread Fukushima, you know, deregulate. What the fuck is this country is so fucked. This country is so fucking pathetic. These fucking people are so fucking evil and hateful in their souls and their heart as they become addicted to money. Money is a sickness. Money is a fucking sickness. And the whole Christian theology they fall into, you know, Christianity told them it was a sickness for 2,000 years, and they lost these fake Christian fucks. Stay with me. Stay with me on this thing. I'm going to get really heavily involved in the environmental poisoning movement. You know, I'll let you know how this biopsy turns out tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be fine. Kevin.